Welcome, welcome! It's my dog with the Texas Space Navy bringing you another Star Citizen video. And today we are talking about Anvil. This is day 5 at the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2952, Anvil Aerospace. Love Anvil. They always have some fun ships and vehicles to bring to the table. Now their newest ship is this one right here. This is the C8R Pisces. Now, what is the difference between the C8, the C8X, and the C8R? The C8 is just a regular stub vehicle, whereas the C8X is a little bit expanded on the weaponry, armor, than the regular C8, and it comes with the exploration, the C8 or the Anvil Special Edition Crucible. Wow. Carrack. Man, I'm losing it today. It's been a long couple days, guys. So the C8R is going to be a search and rescue version of the Pisces. And this thing is going to be crazy valuable, crazy useful when it comes to ships in your fleet. Especially if you're in an org, bigger org. This thing is going to be a must-have, as it's going to be able to set down quick and get your guys on the gurney and pull them back on the ship, you know, stabilize them, fly them off real quick to where they need to go. I mean, it's got several different paints available for it. As you can see, the factory standard, the heartbeat, the responder, and then the code blue, which is pretty neat as well. This thing's going to be cool. Going to be cool. It's got one tier 3 med bed, so it's only for light injuries. But I've been saying this for a while, that this thing needed to be some sort of search and rescue vehicle. It's perfect for that role, and now they have it. $60. If you're concierge, you can get the code blue version for $60, or you can get the regular standard version. If you do a regular credits, $65. Then you can also pick up the paints. And you can pick up an entire 5 paint pack that includes the darker paints. I get 25% off being concierge, but you get it for $21. Concierge is $15.75. The paints themselves are only $5. If you just get a 4-pack, it's $12.80. $3 for the responder paint. So yeah, I mean $3 for the night break. So not a bad deal. You can also upgrade to it. So if you got something that's smaller in price, you can upgrade into this thing. This thing will give you lifetime insurance as well, because it's the first time that they put it on sale. Also, if you own a Carrick or an 890 Jump, CIG should have sent you a code to your email. You can use this code to get a $5 discount on this ship. If you have multiple, you'll get multiple codes to do that. So pretty cool. Moving on. Let's talk about the light fighter from Anvil. This is a light stealth fighter. It's called the Arrow. It packs a pretty good punch for its size. Now, it doesn't have a lot of shielding because it's a little smaller, but it makes up for it with maneuverability and speed. And at $75, this thing can compete with a Gladius. So it's cheaper than a Gladius, and it competes with a Gladius. You might want to think about picking one of these up if you like that slightly more maneuverable feel. Again, it's got different armament. It's different in many ways than the Gladius, but they're about on par with one another in the current meta. Now, in the future of the game, who knows? If you want a ground-based vehicle that can do damage against those ships flying overhead, you can get a Ballista for $140. This fires size 5 torpedoes and size 8 missiles as well. So size 5 and 8 missiles, they are more than capable of bringing down a great many ships, especially the size 8s. They can take down some of the bigger ships. Pretty cool. It also has this Gatling gun in the front that can also do damage to ships and other vehicles and ground forces. It's actually pretty devastating. I have a video of dying a bunch of different ways in the game, and I got hit with this Gatling in the face, and my body flew across the entire planet. So pretty cool. There you have the C8R Pisces for $65. but you saw that you can also get it for 60 right now. C8X is only 45. Why is the C8R more than the C8X? The C8X has more firepower. This has a tier 3 medbed. Not real useful right now, but I guarantee this thing is going to be super, super valuable later on down the road when they have a lot more of the game fleshed out. I can't tell you how valuable that ship's going to be. My org has been loading up on them. Then we move on to the Carrack. It's $600. This is one of the top exploring ships in the game. So if you want to get that in-game ship for exploration and you have enough people to go on a long journey with you, the Anvil Carrick is one of the ships to do that. The other's the Odyssey. We'll probably see that one on sale tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see. But the Carrack, definitely one of those ships, and it's pretty awesome, guys. It's got a cargo bay that's capable of having a rover. It's got plenty of cargo area to hold things that you find along your journey. Then it also has a hangar up here that the Pisces is built for. So if you get a Carrack, make sure you get the Pisces. And it's got a med bed on it. It's got crew quarters. It's got a drone bay. So this thing has a little bit of everything. Armor will go back over the top of this glass front once you go into combat. It's got turrets on the sides, turrets on the top and bottom. I mean, it's just a great overall ship. My org uses Carrack quite frequently for org ops. So it's a great ship. $600. Then we have the Centurion, which is like the Ballista. It's like the same type ground vehicle, the Atlas platform. But this one has 4 size 4s for guns, a turret on it. So it's more than capable of taking out those ships that are flying overhead. Now, you're also a sitting duck if you're not moving as this ship or as this vehicle. So keep that in mind. But this thing's going to put some nasty, nasty firepower downrange for you. $110. Could be worth it to pick up 1 or 2 of these. Then we move on to the Anvil Crucible. This thing has not gone up in price in quite some time, which really shocks me because, you know, CIG tend to raise things in price. This is the end-all be-all of repair ships. It is made to repair fighters, as you can see in the bay here, but it's also capable of repairing ships of any size, including your capital ships. This dome here can actually spin around to the other side, and some arms will reach out there and do the work for you. So really interesting. It hasn't gone up in price. My guess is this thing's going to end up like $500 or something when it's all said and done. Crucible is going to be hugely important for any large size fleet. Then we go on to the classic from Anvil, the F7C Hornet, $110. You get a pretty good amount of weapons, or capability to have a lot of weapons on this thing. This is decently armored. It's kind of like a semi-tank, I guess if you will. It's a medium fighter, but it's more tanky than like a Saber is. Well, it's supposed to be. Right now, it's not. They don't have the armor in the game yet, but eventually it will be. Then you can move on to a bigger brother of it, the F7C Hornet Wildfire, which is a special edition version of the Hornet. It comes with the turret up here and can put more firepower down range for you. Definitely a good one to pick up over the regular Hornet. And I would say you might want to go to the Super Hornet because it's going to have the best value, because it's got a turret up here with 2 guns and a turret down here with 2 guns. And then it's got the 2 guns on the wings, so it's 6 total guns that the pilot can control all of if you want them to. So could be pretty devastating somewhere down the road. Again, right now with the way that the game is, it's not the best ship to have, but I used to fly this thing all the time. It used to be my favorite fighter, bar none, until they changed some of the mechanics and the way the game plays. They'll change some more as they change the flight model and the fighting model in the next few patches. So this thing may get some air superiority back. And then you have the Hornet Tracker. This is capable of like an AWACS type thing. but it's on a smaller ship. It can still fight, but its main role is to hunt things down. So you'll definitely want to have this in your fleet if you have a carrier of any kind, and you want it out in front and kind of scanning for bad guys. Then you have the F7CS Hornet Ghost for $125. This is a stealth fighter, and the stealth works really good in this thing. I actually like the Ghost a lot, but the Hornet is just not meta. I mean, it's just not where it needs to be, where they intended to be. Eventually it will be, but right now it's not. The stealth part of it works great, though. And then we have the Gladiator, which is a short-range bomber. Carries size 5 torpedoes. Again, I'm not sure how great the size 5s really are or will be when everything's the way that it's supposed to be. But this is a 2-person ship. 1 person in the turret, 1 flying. It's got 4 guns and a bunch of missiles. I do mean a bunch, including the size 5 torps. So a lot of fun. I would definitely base this off of a carrier, like an Idris, or of course the Bengal would be great, but Idris, or maybe even a Carrack, a Kraken, sorry, might be a good choice for you to host a bunch of Gladiators off of. Then the Hawk, which is $100. This is a light fighter. It does possess an EMP, and it also possesses a prison cell at the back. So this is more for you bounty hunter types out there. It's got like 6 guns and an EMP, so it's definitely packing a punch, but they are lower level guns. You're talking like size 1s and 2s, so there's only so much punch it's going to hit for. But these things are going to be pretty good against, I'd say, other light fighters, and maybe even some medium fighters. I don't know. I would expect these things, they're pretty maneuverable, to actually be good against other things as well, but right now it's kind of crap. The Anvil Hurricane. It is a heavy hitter, and it is a glass cannon. This thing has 4 size 3s up here and 2 size 4s up here. It can pack a nasty, nasty punch. If you put this thing up against a Scorpius, which is another heavy fighter in the game, usually this thing's going to end up on top, even though it has 2 less weapons. Some of that's going to be how much weaponry is in each person's hands. And another part is just, I think, the way that the ships are built. The Scorpius isn't honed in yet. Really, neither one of them are, but the Hurricane's just a lot of fun to fly. And when we do events like Nine Tails or Xenothreat, flying a Hurricane with a buddy in our org is so much fun. So much fun. That is like the go-to combat ship for us generally. Maybe sometimes a Redeemer, but mostly the Hurricane. Then we have the Legionnaire, which is going to be all about boarding enemy ships. Don't really know too much about these. I hope they're stealthy, because you need to be stealthy if you're going to board an enemy vessel. But they carry a certain amount of troops. It is what it is. It's not heavily weapon. It doesn't have a lot of weapons, a lot of armor. But it's going to be interesting to see how we can use these boarding vessels getting into other ships. Then we go to the Liberator, which is a deep strike light carrier. Now, I don't know if I would call it a deep strike. I like what it says up here. It's a transport. It's a light carrier. It looks really cool. You can transport ground vehicles, transport planes, ships, whatever. It's got a lot of space to do that. It's got a lot of space for personnel. It's pretty cool. $575. I wish I had, a dozen of these in. I probably do have a dozen of these in the org, but I hope we do have a bunch of these. It will help move men and material from one place to another a lot easier. So really cool ship, a really cool idea behind it. Now, it's not well defended, so you're definitely going to have some ships capable of defending it with it when you travel. And that moves us over to the Spartan. $80. This is a troop transport. Period. Is it worth it? I don't know. I don't know. I like the regular rover personally over this, but it's armored. I don't know. I'll let you guys decide that. Let me know in the comments down below. Do you think the Spartan's worth the $80? Well, let me know. The Terrapin, the ultimate scout. This thing is supposed to go ahead of the fleet by itself, kind of stealthily, and pick up on enemy fleet movements and what they're doing. It's supposed to be really stealthy. $220 seems like a lot, especially for the fact that it's in the game now, but you can't use it the way it's intended. I hope this thing lives up to the hype. I mean, it's supposed to be a little turtle, right? And I can't wait to find out if it will. If it does, I will make sure that we're deploying plenty of these in my fleet. Right now, I only have one, but maybe with some referrals, I can get to another one. So you guys, throw some referrals my way. That would be so awesome. I could actually get up to 500 referrals, and I think I get that as a bonus if I do. Then we move on to the Valkyrie, one of my favorite ships in the game. This thing looks so awesome. Looks like the dropship from Alien, if you ask me, and I think that is freaking cool. It's got a lot of guns, a lot of capability. You can carry 20 personnel in this in the drop seats, and it has side doors. It's got a cargo area where you can put a rover or a couple of cyclones or a bunch of hover bikes or just some cargo back there. The Valkyrie is a fantastic ship, and at $375, I think it's a bargain. And that's what you have for day 5, Anvil. You can get the complete pack, $33.50 if you're concierge and warbond. Otherwise, you'll pay $37.50. Then you also have the Anvil gear. Sorry if I sound tired. I really am, guys. I'm exhausted. I've been traveling all day and today and yesterday for Thanksgiving. So I also want to say thank you guys for tuning in. I'm thankful for all you guys watching my videos. Please hit the like button and the subscribe button. Make sure you leave me a comment. I'm Mud Dog with the Texas Space Navy, and I'll see you out in the verse.